Welcome back, and thank you for joining me. We are going to talk about faithfulness, which is the second part of the standards of success. Faithfulness, integrity, and our verse to guide our session today comes from Proverbs 11 verse 3 and says, "The integrity of the upright guides them, but the unfaithful are destroyed by their duplicity." I repeat, the integrity of the upright guides them, but the unfaithful are destroyed by their duplicity. The power that you have, building on what we spoke in the previous episode, of the little acts of evil that you do, or the small inconsistencies that happen to you because you're at work, is an example of something that can mold your character. And we normally take them as not being very, very important to success. And I'm going to give an example. Let's assume you're working and your boss comes and tells you, "Hey, you want to send me the report until I'm almost done," when you know you are not done. So such simple inconsistencies are not godliness. The most important principle for you as a Christian that has been revealed to us by God from the Bible is that we should have integrity. This is always given to us so that in every effort that we do, it's for the good of ourselves and the good of God. Therefore, we need to have a balanced mind and internal self-control so that we're able to aspire to reach a higher standard. Good examples of people in the Bible that showed integrity to the end. One was Joseph, whose story you know. He was thrown in prison. Daniel, who was thrown in a pit to be eaten by lions, but they stood still in their belief in God. Therefore, they were able to be captured as one of the greatest almighty men of God. They valued the favor of God above a favor and praise of the kings and princesses of the people, and for that God loved them and spread his shield around them. When you know that you have faithfulness, or you have faithful integrity, because you are determined to do this in the honor of God above every human power, God comes and honors you before all men. These two, Joseph and Daniel, were honored because they were God's great examples of integrity, and his power worked on them. Joseph was able to interpret the dreams. Joseph was able to eventually become the prime minister of a great kingdom. Daniel was able to be elevated to be also the prime minister of a big kingdom. So you are not, as my listener today, you are asked to show who you truly are as a godly person. Even if you brought before kings and leaders, and everything of yourself, your habits, your practices, everything is scrutinized. But as long as you know you're doing the right thing, just know that your faith, you should confess of your faith, your integrity, because you're commanded by God. They refused every earthly mandate and not to be distracted by God, to be distracted by human beings, but to honor God. They were humans, weak like you and me, but they knew their strength comes from God. Now, for you, my listener, you should be prepared to follow this example end to end. Never be ashamed of who you are because you love God. Come out, let the world, let everyone see the glory of God in you. Do not be controlled by the worldly things, by false praises. Do not come out and say anything against what God advises. Stick to your words. Pick your words very, very carefully so they are consistent with the actions. And therefore, if you do this with earnestness, God will come and clothe you with His warmth, which is way, way, way more important. Therefore, if you want to know the secret to success is integrity. For we are of service to God, and we do that from everyday activities that we do. So, number 2 of how you should be successful is to have integrity, or simply put, faithful integrity. Thank you. Tomorrow we move to the third thing.